Before we begin, step into the unknown. If you enjoy mysteries, legends, and the unexplained, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And now, let's begin our journey down the Silk Road. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Some stories are told over and over again, passed through generations, whispered on long road trips, or shared in hushed voices around a campfire. They always seem to follow the same pattern, no matter where they're told, no matter who tells them. One of the most famous of these stories is The Vanishing Hitchhiker, a simple act of kindness, a ride offered to a stranger, and then, suddenly, nothing is as it seems. It was late, too late to still be driving. The road stretched endlessly ahead of me, the glow of my headlights cutting through the night. There wasn't another car in sight. That's when I saw her. She was standing by the side of the road, just beyond the reach of the streetlight. A young woman, no older than 20, her arms wrapped around herself like she was cold. Her dress pale, almost white, fluttered slightly in the night breeze. I don't know why, but I slowed down. She didn't wave, didn't step forward, just stood there, waiting. But something about her felt off. Maybe it was the way she stared, unmoving. Maybe it was the silence of the road. Still, I rolled my window down and asked if she needed a ride. Her voice was soft when she spoke, almost distant. "Home," she said. "I just need to go home." She climbed into the back seat without another word. No thank you, no hesitation. I checked my mirror as I pulled back onto the road. She was sitting perfectly still, hands folded in her lap, staring out the window. We drove in silence for miles. The only sound was the hum of the engine and the steady beat of the rain starting to hit the windshield. Eventually, I glanced at her through the mirror again. Her face was pale, too pale, and her hands cold, like she hadn't been in the warmth for a long time. "Are you all right?" I asked. She turned to me then, slowly, her expression unreadable, and in the dim light of the car, I swear for a split second, it didn't look like she had eyes at all. Then, in a whisper, she spoke. "Turn left up ahead." The road twisted into a long, narrow street lined with old houses. The address she had given me was just a few turns away. The house was small, dark, not a single light on inside. I put the car in park, turned to tell her we'd arrived. The seat was empty. I stared. My heart pounded. The door had never opened. There had been no sound, no movement. She was just gone. A chill ran down my spine as I turned back toward the house. Maybe she had run ahead somehow. Maybe she was already inside. But then I noticed something else. On the dashboard, right where she had been sitting, was a single faded photograph. It was old, black and white, a picture of a girl wearing that same pale dress. And scrawled in handwriting beneath it was a date. The date of her death, 10 years ago. But here's the thing. This isn't just a story. People from all over the world have reported eerily similar encounters. Take, for instance, Resurrection Mary from Chicago, USA. In the 1930s, a young woman named Mary was killed in a car accident after leaving a dance hall in Chicago. Ever since, drivers near Archer Avenue have reported picking up a girl in a white dress, only for her to disappear before reaching the cemetery gates. The ghost of Jalan Bahar, Singapore. In Singapore, taxi drivers have claimed to pick up passengers late at night, only for them to vanish upon arriving at their destination. Some even say they check the back seat afterward and find some money that was never handed to them. The Spanish legend of La Chica de la Corva. In Spain, a mysterious woman appears on winding roads, warning drivers to slow down. If they ignore her, they supposedly crash and die. Some say she's the ghost of a past accident victim, forever trying to save others from her fate. So what's happening here? Are these just old ghost stories? Or is there something more? Some experts believe the Vanishing Hitchhiker is an example of collective memory, where similar stories emerge across cultures due to human psychology. Others suggest sleep deprivation or hallucinations could explain why late-night drivers report seeing things that aren't really there. Many believe these figures are spirits of lost souls, eternally searching for a way home. Some claim they're omens, appearing as a warning before an accident or tragedy. This story has existed for centuries, but why does it persist? Some say it's because, deep down, we fear the unknown and the things we can't explain. Maybe it's nothing more than an old myth, a warning against traveling alone at night. Or maybe, even now, on some quiet, forgotten road, she's still waiting for a ride home.